Welcome to day 6 of becoming an AWS Solutions Architect in 60 days. Today we are setting up essential tools and configuring the AWS command line interface CLI to interact with the AWS services from our local machines. Step 1. The first tool we need is Visual Studio Code, VS Code, a free code editor from Microsoft. I am heading over to Google now to search for VS Code. Once I find the official Microsoft website, I will click on it and download the version that matches my operating system. After downloading, I will install VS Code by following the on-screen instructions. Step 2. Installing the AWS CLI. Next, we need to install the AWS CLI. This tool allows us to run AWS command directly from our terminal instead of using the AWS management console. I will search on Google for AWS command interface and click on the official AWS CLI download page. Here, I will choose the version that corresponds to my operating system. I will follow the installation instructions to complete the setup. Once installed, I can verify the installation by opening a command prompt CMP or a terminal and run it. I will then run AWS -- version. If the installation was successful, this command will display the installed AWS CLI version. Now, instead of installing AWS CLI locally, AWS also provides CloudTrail, a pre-configured command line interface that runs directly from the AWS management console. To check if the CloudTrail is available, I will go to the AWS console, search for CloudTrail in the AWS services search bar, click on CloudTrail, and it will launch a terminal session in the browser. Wait a few seconds for it to initialize. CloudTrail automatically includes the AWS CLI, meaning we can start running AWS commands without installing anything locally. I can also adjust the font size in CloudTrail to make it easier to read by using the settings in the top right corner. Now that I have AWS CLI installed, either locally or via CloudTrail, I will test a few basic commands. To check if AWS CLI is working properly, I will type AWS S3 ls. If everything is set up correctly, this command will list any S3 buckets in my AWS account. Since I haven't created any buckets yet, it may return an empty list. To exit CloudTrail or AWS CLI in the terminal, I can type exit. Now, we have our AWS CLI setup and we are ready to use it for managing AWS resources more effectively. In the next session, we will configure AWS CLI with IAM credentials and start running more advanced AWS commands.